Welcome to our news update. A Chinese space station's near collision with Starlink satellites from Tesla and SpaceX boss Elon Musk has Chinese internet experts wondering whether this is another U.S. ploy to curb China's space advances and steal its space technologies. Is a new space race between China and the United States imminent? Xiaobao's China desk is investigating the issue. Elon Musk, CEO of American electric vehicle giant Tesla, has once again attracted the attention of the Chinese public. Not because of his usual scandalous comments, a tweet about a Chinese poem, or about the quality problems of Tesla cars. This time it's about satellites in the sky. To be precise, these are the Starlink satellites launched by SpaceX, Musk's space exploration technology company. In early December, China filed a complaint with the United Nations, UN, saying it needed to take evasive maneuvers to avoid a possible collision with Musk's Starlink satellites. Your space station implemented preemptive control to avoid collisions on July 1st and October 21st, 2021. Random near collisions? In order to prevent a recurrence of the incident, China called on UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to inform all contracting parties of the principles that should govern the activities of states in the exploration and use of outer space that are states parties to the treaty. The international responsibility for national activities in outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, whether carried out by governmental organizations or non-governmental organizations. On December 28th, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian also claimed that the United States had disregarded its obligations under the treaty and called on the United States to act responsibly to ensure the safety of astronauts in orbit and the safe and stable operations of outer space facilities. Basically, China blames the U.S. for the launch of the Starlink satellites. After this news was widely reported in the Chinese media on December 27th, many Chinese netizens scolded Musk for his malicious intentions. Others even accused Musk of to be fraudulent, to profit from China on the one hand and to defame China on the other. It is estimated that Tesla currently produces more than half of its vehicles in China. China is also Tesla's second largest market after the United States. Many netizens called for a boycott of Tesla, while others pointed the finger at the United States for a large, carefully disguised masquerade to curb China's space advances and steal its space technologies, which have made rapid progress in recent years have. Well-informed former Global Times editor Hu Xijin, who is well-versed in current affairs, agreed. On December 27th, Hu tweeted, "Could Mr. Musk please explain why satellites launched by your Starlink program had 2 encounters with the Chinese space station? You weren't there to sell Tesla to Chinese takenauts, were you?" A report in the Global Times on December 28 said that Starlink satellites had twice approached the Chinese space station, which had crew members on board both times. In other words, this poses a danger to the world. The report also quotes an aerospace expert as saying, "However, we cannot rule out that the measure is aimed at testing China's capabilities in space to check whether China can use precision satellites to track trajectory." As of this writing, neither Musk nor SpaceX have responded. In 2014, Musk proposed the Starlink project, the goal of which is to provide satellite internet service to the world. The first 60 Starlink satellites were deployed in 2019. SpaceX has reportedly launched nearly 1,900 of its targeted 12,000 satellites. When these satellites are fully deployed, the Starlink network is expected to provide low-latency broadband internet around the world. Previously, many Chinese internet users praised Musk's Starlink project, with some hoping it would help them bypass China's Great Firewall so they would no longer have to rely on a virtual private network, VPN, to do so. However, with increasing tensions in Sino-US relations, many Chinese netizens seem to be turning their attention to the possibility of a space race between China and US. It is well known that the United States and the Soviet Union launched a 20-year space race that resulted in many firsts for humanity: the launch of the first artificial satellite, the first manned flight to space, the first people on the moon. But after the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, the United States was the clear leader in the space sector because it no longer had a competitor. However, American observers and politicians have repeatedly warned in recent years that China, which is aggressively developing its own space capabilities, is challenging U.S. leadership. Life or health of astronauts on board the Chinese space station. The Wall Street Journal quoted James Head, a professor of geology at Brown University, as saying, "China is now building the Silk Road to space." He added that space missions require time, investment, and long-term planning, and Beijing is investing strategically. Paul S. Szymanski, a veteran space warfare analyst, said in an Air Force magazine, "The Chinese are starting from scratch." In fact, China launched its space sector much later than the United States, but after astronaut Yan Liwei was launched in 2003, all was sent. The entire country was affected by space fever and began to increase investment in space travel. All of this is evident from Chang'e 4, which made the first soft landing on the far side of the moon in 2019, to Chang'e 5, which returned lunar samples in November 2020, to Tianwen-1 with its rover on it in May 2021. China will be the first country to send a rover to Mars alongside the USA. If you find this video interesting, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to receive more updates. China aims to build and operate its first space station, Tiangong, by next year, showing its ambition in seeking advances in the space sector. The U.S.-run International Space Station, ISS, is scheduled to be decommissioned in 2024. Unless the United States and its partners expand operations, China's Tiangong would be the only manned space station in orbit around Earth. In 2011, the U.S. Congress passed the Wolf Amendment, which prohibits any joint scientific research between the U.S. and China in connection with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, or through the White House Office of Policy, Science, and Technology, i.e. the Chinese banned astronauts would be permanently banned from the ISS. But now things have changed dramatically. In April 2016, Chinese President Xi Jinping said, "Exploring the vast universe, developing space programs, and becoming an aerospace power has always been the dream we have strived for." In June 2017, he emphasized at a visit to a People's Liberation Army base in Shaanxi, "We must adhere to the dream of being an aerospace power, strengthen mission awareness, and intensify technical innovation and practical creation to continue leading China to new heights in its space journey." He has also more than once compared China's aerospace industry to the two bombs, one satellite phase of the Mao Zedong era, referring to the atomic bomb, the ballistic missile, and the artificial satellite. It is clear that China's leader believes that if China can gain a technical advantage in space, it is a necessary condition for maintaining national security and a sign of progressive ideology. China holds on to its dream of flying to the moon as the moon goddess Chang'e. Japan is working hard on its plan for a manned lunar landing by the second half of the 2020s. Last month, NASA said Americans would not land on the moon again until 2025 at the earliest. As multiple countries compete to land on the moon, the geostrategic competition is expanding into space. If they could put political factors aside and work together to unlock the mysteries of the moon and the universe, it would be good news for humanity. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thought in the comment section below.